I leave in 5 days for my next trip. And the only reason I'm making this video in particular is because I'm going to be creating another short film. And I want to be able to document and create a little bit of a series for myself to show the behind the scenes, because I don't know if you guys have watched this before already, but I have my last short film that I created, Scotland short film, premiered a year ago, and the build up to that was very fun. I had never done anything like this, because not only did I premiere it on YouTube, but I actually had a live premiering as the very first showing where I got friends and family, and that was just so great. It added a whole level of meaning to my films and the experience building up to it, and I kind of want to replicate that. And actually the other thing too is I wanted to create some kind of a post-premiere documentary of how I got to what I got to, and like the thoughts and the creative decisions. But when I got to the edit, there had been so much leading up to that I kind of felt a little overwhelmed, and I just kind of abandoned it. So this is my way of like trying to find a creative way of still creating that documentary, but making it into like a short, like a mini series of how I got to that end project. So in this video, I'm going to take you through 6 steps of how I like to prepare for a short film like this, and what I like, what's the mentality before I go out there. So the very first thing will be the gear. So I want to make sure that I have the appropriate gear, and I try to be very, very minimal. There are 3 major pieces of tech that I like to take on this, and then obviously a lot of little external things around that to enhance the experience. The first one is a camera. I take one camera, I just got one right now. 24-70 is the most basic thing that I think is just the standard. 70-200 is my favorite. I'll take that depending on what the location is, but where I'm going in Canada, I think a 200-800 millimeter is going to be the next best thing as well to pair with the 24-70, just because of all the wildlife that I'll be coming across. So I'll be renting that here soon. As far as a secondary camera, my iPhone 17 Pro Max. If you've been around this channel a little bit, I've been playing a lot with trying to perfect my usage of it and maximize my output. I feel like on social media these days, you really cannot tell the difference. There's sometimes where you can, depending on certain scenarios, but for the most part, it's kind of hard to differentiate the difference between like a mirrorless camera and then an iPhone, especially if you do it correctly. So camera, iPhone, and then obviously a drone. So I like to give the whole macro experience. I want to paint the context. I want to show the viewer the beauty that we're seeing out there. And so those would be the 3 biggest things that I will take on a trip like this. And then obviously all the external things, batteries, chargers, ND filters. I do not build a rig like for my camera when I'm out there, because I want to have just as minimal as a setup as possible. So aside from 24-70 and then whatever specialty lens I want to take, maybe an external monitor, but aside from that, probably won't even throw that on there. Just because like we move pretty quickly, and I don't want things to get in the way. I don't want friction when it comes to creating in places like that. I want to be able to take it in and not live through the camera, but let the camera just view it with me, because I think I talked about this, leading up to Scotland. Like, I don't want the camera to eat first. Like, I want my eyes to be able to take it in, and then the camera just so happens to be there. So number 2, obviously, I think the biggest thing is like, what's the theme of it? I don't want to get out there, not having an idea of what I'm going to be doing. So I typically select the theme for the short film based on either a struggle that I'm going through, a question that I've got looming over me, something that I'm going through or wrestling with, so that I can keep it very relevant, but it keeps on theme with the overall theme of this channel, which is just to document as a dad what I'm doing, where I'm at, so that when my kids pick up this channel and then view it, they can see like, oh, in this date, this is what dad was thinking through, and this is how he was kind of processing these things. And so it's just to stay on theme with that brand, but that typically tends to be the theme. I'm not going to reveal it just now. I'm pretty excited about this theme. It's probably, it's going to be a really, really good one, a really emotional one. So really excited about it. But I'll have a theme picked out before going out there, so that way it makes capturing everything a little bit more easy, knowing what the idea is. Number 3 is, I would probably say, the most important next to the theme, which is the music. Now, I don't necessarily have to have a song picked out. If I have a song, or at least the idea of a song, that's perfect, because that's going to help just drive the narrative forward for me. And then when I get out there, it's so much more easier to know like what the video is going to be shot for and how everything's going to kind of come together in the edit. I don't want to come back with a bunch of stuff and then have to figure out like, oh, now what am I gonna do with this? So I try and have a song picked out. If I don't have a song picked out, that's fine. My backup is this product called Multiply Sound. No one's sponsoring this, by the way, but I've talked about Multiply Sound at length. It's the tool, I would say, that's got me the most excited to make videos since I started making videos and using a camera, because it revolves all around music, but specifically driving emotion and connecting people to a video. The reason I prefer this product so much over others, and is my saving grace if I don't have a song, is because every sound pack that you purchase from Multiply Sound comes in all 12 keys. And so there's a lot of things in there that are geared towards driving emotion, that if I don't have a song and I know kind of the key that I want to be making the video around, I will start dabbling in those sounds. I'll just be listening to, I'll listen to drones, to pads, to different melodies, to improvs, to hits around that key, so that if I don't have a song picked out, which I actually do for this one, but if I don't have a song picked out, when I get out there, I know the key that I'm going to be playing with. I know the general feeling and the general vibe that I'm going to be injecting into this and letting it carry the story for this. So Multiply Sound is a saving grace. Yeah, so Multiply Sound, if you haven't checked it out, check it out. No one's, again, they're not sponsoring this, but there's no other product that has got me more excited about making videos than that product. The fourth one is a monologue. I've tried the whole creating a monologue for an entire video and just kind of trying to make it feel organic, and it's just not me. If you haven't tried it, I recommend trying it, because you don't know what you don't know. But for me, I do want to have a little bit of a monologue, and I say like maybe a 10 to 15, maybe even 30-second monologue. The monologue for me tends to be thoughts that are, so when I'm building out the monologue very, very early on, and like at this point now, since we're leaving on the trip in 5 days, probably like 2 months ago I came up with it, but I'll try and catch myself in a very vulnerable moment when I'm thinking about what I want the theme of this video to be. Thoughts will come across my mind and I'll jot them down in no particular order, but I'll just kind of jot them down or put them in my notes app. Then later, when I'm feeling a little bit more analytical and wanting to like build out the story a little bit more, I'll then revisit that and then reorganize it in a way that flows but still carries the raw emotion that I was experiencing when I thought those thoughts, and that becomes the monologue. It will not necessarily become the very beginning of the video or even the end, but I tend to just have that in my back pocket. I know I'm going to use it, but I wait for the edit to see when it feels right. So I'm a little bit more laxed on that. But that's just another thing that I'll have in the back, in my back pocket, to drive the film when I think it's needed, or when I need it to increase the emotion of the film or really drive home the message. Number 5, have a vision for shots. So I love to take the impromptu approach of not having a set shot list. Now, this is probably not the most ideal thing, but I know a lot of people will often like compile a shot list of things that they want to do and want to shoot and have like this whole storyboard drawn out. I don't like that. I've tried that before and it just did not feel organic. I think one of the reasons for me is it would help to make a shot list like that. I think part of it would have to be doing a little bit of research of the place you're going to. Have an idea, a visual of the places you're gonna go, the sites you're gonna see. The problem for me is I don't like researching in advance where I'm going. The benefit to me is my wife actually does not really care for those kinds of surprises. She actually prefers the reverse, building the anticipation of where we're going by researching and kind of getting a glimpse of where we're going. So she actually tends to do a lot of the planning for like the stops that we're going to be doing along the way. I don't like to research ahead of time where I'm going to go visually, because this has been a recent thing of mine, but I feel like I haven't earned those views. A little while ago, I stopped watching a lot of like videos of people in their travel films and to places that I've never been, because I don't want to see a beautiful scene and then feel like I have not earned it. I'm still piecing together how I'm thinking about that, but the point is I don't have a shot list because I don't research in advance where I'm going, so that I build the anticipation for when I actually get there. The other thing too is I want the first time the camera sees that particular view to also be my first time, so that in a way it's a little bit of a metaphysical thing where like my kids, when they watch this video, it's the very first time Dad saw that side as well, because it's the first time the camera is getting to see it as well. So the camera becomes an active participant when I'm watching it for the very first time, or seeing the thing that I went out there to see to begin with. So a little bit of like, I guess all that is to really just enhance the emotion, enhance the experience, but then also just to kind of get a genuine human experience of when I see that view or experience that thing that I'm going to be experiencing out there. Shot list though, I will have a general idea of like, actually let's just cut to it. Part 6 would just be, since I don't like to have a shot list, I have basic rules for capturing what I need to capture in the moment out there. So for me, basics: wide, medium, and then detailed shot. Wide to give the context where I'm at, medium to start drawing the viewer in, and then a bit of a detailed or micro shot to really immerse the viewer. If I multiply that across everything that I see, I walk away with a good amount of footage to be able to entertain and keep the visuals going and give me enough to tell the story that I want to tell. For every shot, I also have another rule where I need 10 seconds minimum. I have to get into double digits in order to make the shot worth it, because sometimes when you're getting ready for the shot, when you go to click record or you're adjusting yourself, there may be a little bump that you probably didn't need, or a jolt or something like that. But giving myself 10, 20 seconds, sometimes even 30 seconds, gives me plenty to work with within that shot. As far as audio, I also try and capture audio everywhere I go. Sometimes I'll even put like a mic somewhere to capture just the ambiance of the place. The more that I can own my footage and my audio, the better. I got to a point where I don't want to use anybody else's stuff. Aside from B-roll, make sure that I get a ton of audio everywhere I go for all the places, so that if I need to, I can immerse the viewer even more. But other than that, yeah, I'm gonna continue a very like short film series, building up to the short film, the premiere, and then even afterwards, because I think that just might be a little easier for myself, rather than just recreating a whole entire documentary afterwards when I've already spent all that time building a short film. Because this one I will be premiering as well. It added a whole different level of meaning and depth for me in creating it, knowing that the first views were going to be in person rather than social media. So I leave in 5 days as of this recording, and I am super excited to see what I come across.